welcome back to our channel. We are the Northern Sewl Sisters and I am Tamlyn. It feels like it's been a really long time since we filmed a video. I've also just ran all the way down the stairs and all the way back up again, hence the slight breathlessness. But we are back and we are here to bring all of the cozy vibes your way. We are going to be sewing up a cozy, snuggly fabric to get us ready for the autumn and winter. We'd love you to join us as always. So we will be encouraging you to get some of the fabric yourselves or share your favourite patterns for this type of fabric, just so we can all inspire each other and yeah, get those cozy autumnal vibes flowing. It is the 2nd of October as we speak, and obviously here in the UK, in the Northern Hemisphere, we are just heading into those autumnal months. So the fabric is a cable knit jersey, and this fabric is from First for Fabrics. They have kindly provided the fabric for us for this challenge, and we've each chosen a different colour, the colour of our choice, and there is a huge selection of colours to choose from. I'm wearing the fabric because I've actually got a couple of garments in cable knit. I am going to take this off in just a moment because it is warm today. It really is, especially when you run up and down the stairs. So this is the fabric. This is obviously the black, just a classic black, and it goes with everything, I think. So I have made the Helen's Closet Blackwood cardigan in this. I've made the long version. I didn't put pockets on, but I'll come to that a little bit later. I am going to now take this off. So the fabric is priced at £11.95 per metre and it comes in 22 different colours. How good is that? There's going to be something for everyone, we think. And when you see the colours that we've chosen, I mean, try and guess now before we show you, try and guess what colours we've each gone for. It might be a little bit of a surprise, I think. So the fabric is comprised of viscose, polyethylene and elastane. So it's 16% viscose, 81% polyethylene and 3% elastane. So the elastane obviously gives it the stretch that you need for those knit garments that you're going to be making, jumpers, cardigans. You know, you need the fabric to stretch to get over and to get around. So that's why it's got that elastane in it. The viscose gives it a lovely drape. So somebody had actually asked me, or asked First for Fabrics, does the fabric have any drape? And I shared a video of it moving and draping, and I think they were really surprised and didn't expect it to drape in that way, but it does have a lovely flow to it thanks to the viscose content. The fabric itself is 340 GSM, so that's the weight of the fabric. So it is quite a substantial, weighty fabric, perfect for the colder months to give you that snuggle factor. The fabric is 150 centimetres wide, which is pretty standard, especially for a knit or a stretch fabric. And it has a fantastic stretch. So in terms of widthways stretch, so across the body, it's got 30 to 35% stretch. And then vertical stretch, it has 15 to 20%. So that's going to be suitable for loads and loads of different garments. We are thinking things like jumpers, sweater dresses, cardigans, those sorts of things, but people do use it for all sorts. They use it for jackets, they use it for coatigans, for skirts, like little tube skirts. You could use it for joggers, you can use it for blankets, you can use it for all sorts. It's a really versatile fabric and it's got that lovely texture, that lovely appearance of a knit, actual knitted fabric, which is great. So I had a couple of thoughts going around in my head about what I wanted to make with the cable knit, and I was thinking about a v-neck sweater vest, which is a pattern by Swim Style Patterns called the Viola vest, and I still definitely want to make that, but for this challenge I wanted to do something a little bit different for this challenge, something a bit more autumnal and snuggly and cozy. I have made a Jackson pullover in cable knit before, and obviously I've made the Helen's Closet Blackwood. So a couple of weeks ago I did my changeover of my wardrobe. It sounds very professional, it was not. I basically got things down from the boxes that I'd put away last spring rather, and I got those down. I got all my cardigans out, all my sweaters, and I put away some of my more summery things that I won't be wearing over the next few months. And I rediscovered my Blackwood cardigan and I thought, that is what I want to make. Maybe it's boring, I'm going to make the exact same thing that I've already made, but I want to make it in a different colour, something a little bit more exciting and vibrant. Not too much, but you know, a little bit, a bit more versatile, or you know, can go with other things in my wardrobe. And I want to make a little change to it this time that I didn't last time. I'm being very secretive, aren't I? So the colour that I've chosen, I'll share that with you now, is this one. Now, I love purple. I really do love purple. It's in this Ogden cami that I'm wearing. I love purple. It's my mum's favourite colour as well. And this is just the most beautiful, rich, plum, aubergine, berry kind of, just beautiful. Yeah, I love it. I think it's a really lovely shade of purple. And you can see there, you've got that cable knit. So you've got the wider cable and then you've got the smaller cable. So it's a really nice sort of even pattern, I guess, because they alternate, and it just looks really, really lovely. Now, when I sew with this cable knit, I like to have my cables in this direction. You could obviously have yours going the other way, but I would just kind of make that choice at the start and decide which direction you're going to have your cables running. So that is my colourway. You will see what Rachel and Ruan have chosen a little bit later. Now, just before I go into details about the pattern that I've chosen, I just wanted to share a few tips for looking after your cable knit garment, because I know that some people can be a little bit hesitant about working with this type of fabric because potentially it could bobble after wear. Now, any fabric, especially a knit fabric, is going to have that potential that when you wear it and wear it and wear it and wash it and wear it, it can bobble. And especially in those areas where it's getting a lot of friction, so maybe under your arms, or if you carry a handbag and it's rubbing constantly on a certain part of your garment, that is going to lead to bobbling. But there are some things that you can do when you're washing your fabric to look after it a little bit better and just to help prevent that from happening. So firstly, I would suggest when you're washing it to turn your garment inside out, so that these lovely cables are on the inside and the reverse of the fabric is on the outside. That will just help protect it a little bit more and reduce the friction. Then I would also suggest washing it on quite a gentle wash, so you don't want that cycle to be spinning and spinning and spinning your washing machine, because that again is going to lead to lots of friction. You want a nice gentle wash, nice low temperature, and yeah, just look after it when you're washing it. I would also not recommend tumble drying this fabric. One of my garments, my Jackson sweater, accidentally went into the tumble dryer. It was in amongst a big wash and I didn't realise, and it went into the tumble dryer. And it bobbled because it shouldn't go in the tumble dryer. So just don't put it in. Hang it to dry, air dry it, and that will help to look after it. But I would also recommend getting one of those defuzzers, a debobbler, for those areas, like I said earlier, that get a lot of friction. Just debobble it and look after it in that way, and it'll just help to prolong the life of your garment. So the pattern that I've chosen, as I did allude to earlier, is the Helen's Closet Blackwood cardigan. It's one that I've made 3 times, I think now, and it's just a pattern that I really, really love. I love Helen's Closet patterns. Her instructions are incredible. They're so detailed and thorough, and I just really, really like them. So it is a PDF only pattern, so you would need to get it printed either at home on your home printer, and then you would have to stick it together obviously, or you can send it away to be copy shop printed, which is what I would recommend and is what I would always do. The pattern itself comes in a really great size range, which is 0 to 34. So that takes you up to a 62-inch chest, and it actually comes in 2 different size brackets. So you've got a B cup, which is from a 0 to a 22, and then you've got a D cup, which is from a 12 to a 34. So there's an overlap in the size ranges there, but you've got 2 different cup options as well. I go for the B cup option and the 0 to 22 size range. Now, in the instructions for the Blackwood cardigan, the stretch requirements are given, so that gives you a direction of how much stretch your fabric will need in order to make this pattern. However, they are slightly higher than the stretch percentage of this, but it works absolutely fine because I've made it before. I know it works. So it says you need a fabric with 40% stretch widthways, which is just slightly more than this has. I mean, if you really stretch this out, it probably does have that. And then it says 20% lengthways, which again is slightly more than this has, but it works perfectly fine. I know it does. So the Blackwood itself is quite a fitted shape for a cardigan. So it has long sleeves, but they are quite close to the body. And the reason for that is it's designed so that you can then wear something over the top of it. So you can wear a jacket or a coat over the top of it and not, you know, have those massive sleeves underneath. So that is what it is designed for. And that's perfect. As we're going into autumn and winter, you will want to pop a coat on when you're going outside, and then you can still keep your Blackwood on underneath. It has two different views. So view A is a mid-thigh length and it has patch pockets on, and then view B is a hip length cardigan. The hip length is one that I haven't tried yet. I've always made the thigh length. And it's designed to be worn open. It's not closed at the front, so it is designed to just sit open on your body. So it doesn't wrap around. I know that a couple of people, my mum included, have doubled the width of the bands so that they can kind of close it at the front just to give them a bit more snuggliness and warmth. So that is an option for you if you want to. And the last thing to mention is the pockets. So I've made the pockets before, but when I made it in cable knit last time, I didn't add the pockets. A, because I thought I'm going to have to pattern match them and I can't really be bothered. And B, I thought the layers of fabric might be a bit too thick for that. However, when I wear it, I do feel like I miss the pockets. I want to be putting my hands in pockets. So I am going to pop pockets on to this version. What's great is, since I made my original Blackwood, Maraflex thread has been invented. So I think that's going to really help me out in making this, and to make those pockets really neat. I'll use Maraflex thread and a straight stitch rather than having to do a zigzag. And I think that's going to really help me when I construct this cardigan. So I hope you're excited to see my Blackwood. Do let me know down below if you have made a Blackwood and what you have made it out of. There's so many options for the fabrics you can use for it. And I just think it's a really classic pattern that you can wear over little cami tops like this. You can wear it over dresses. You can wear it over most things. And I love it. So if you would like to get involved and if you would like to sew up some cable knit this autumn, then First for Fabrics are offering you a discount code. So you can get 10% off the cable knit range at First for Fabrics by using the code NSS Cable. That is going to run until the end of October, so you've got plenty of time. It's an online only code, so if you are a local customer to First for Fabrics, just pop your order through online and do click and collect, and then you can use the code. So it's 10% off. That's a really great discount, and it will make your fabric 10% off £11.95, which is £1.20-ish. It's going to make it about £10.75 a metre, which is a really great value price, I think, for this fabric. I feel like I'm really starting to waffle now, so it's time for me to go. I'm really excited for you to see what colour the girls have chosen and what patterns they're going to go for. And I can't wait to sew these up and reveal these to you and see what you think. And then we could have a whole Instagram cable knit takeover. It's going to be so fun. So I'll hand you over now and I'll see you again soon. Bye.
Hi, it's Ruan, and it's my turn to tell you what colour fabric I've chosen. So what do you think I might have chosen? I think I may have surprised the girls quite a bit with the choice of my fabric. Now, I've no doubt you guys are probably thinking as well, she's going to have picked something quite bright and bold, maybe pink, that type of thing. Well, you'll be surprised because I have not. I have chosen the ivory. I know, I shocked myself, if I'm honest. It's a little bit damp actually because I've thrown it in the wash and it is just drying at the moment. So it's a little bit damp, but it smells delicious. But yeah, how beautiful is this ivory colour? Now, when I have my colours done, this is one of my base colours, which works out well. And I have had a vision recently of a really nice whitish, boxy winter jumper. So when Tamlyn messaged me, I was like, I know exactly which colour I'm going for, so I've gone for this one. Now, I may be making a huge mistake, i.e. make up and this colour, children and this colour. But do you know what? I'm going with it. So I have got this stunning ivory colour and I can't wait to get sewing with it. I have made a couple of things in this type of fabric before. I have made a South Bank sweater dress in the petrol colour, and I've also made a Blackwood cardigan for my mum in the navy colour. So I already know that this is a dream to sew. Right, I was saying that obviously I was thinking about some sort of boxy kind of jumper for the autumn winter months, and I've had my eye on this pattern for ages. It's a really old pattern, and I saw it in someone's D-stash on a Facebook group, and I was like, the stars have aligned, I'm gonna get it. So I did, and this is the pattern. Now, this is an old pattern, so it's Tilly and the Buttons Nora, and you can see it here in this really lovely knit stretch fabric. I am really excited because this is quite a, as I explained, boxy t-shirt type jumper. So you can do it with lots of different knits, and people have made it into t-shirts as well, and it's got a roll neck here. So I'm thinking this would be lush for that fabric. Now, this pattern unfortunately does not come in the wider size range, and I didn't realise. Obviously I just ordered it off the D-stash and it came, but I'd forgotten that a lot of the earlier Tilly and the Button patterns are a little bit restricted in sizing. Now obviously all the new ones that are coming out at the moment are a lot better from a size inclusivity point of view, and I do know some of the older ones have been extended, but it doesn't look like this has been extended because I went and had a look online as well. So I'm hoping that's something that they're going to be tackling at some point, because it looks like a really good pattern to me. And I've stalked Instagram obviously for the hashtag, and there's some beautiful versions on there. Although Instagram is frustrating me at the moment, because when you put a hashtag in, it doesn't let you put the most recent ones in, and it also doesn't show you them all. It only shows you a percentage of them, which is so frustrating. Anywho, so just for information, this goes from a size 1 to 8, which is a UK 6 to 20. So the bust measurements are 30 inch to 44, waist of 24 to 38, and hip of 33 to 47 inches. Now I'm 43 inches on the bust, and the size 8 is 44 inches. So I'm going to be right up that scale. But I'm going to have a really good look at the body measurements and the finished garment measurements, so I can try and work out, because I think it's got a lot of ease in this pattern. Now, you'll be able to see here there are 3 versions to this pattern, which are gorgeous. So here we have a short sleeve t-shirt with a round neckline and a long hem. So you'll see the length of it there. Then you have this version, which is an elbow length sleeve t-shirt with round neckline. It's cropped and has a stepped hem. So it's shorter at the front than it is at the back, and you can see the sleeve length here. And then you've got this version, which is the extra long sleeve sweater with high neck, and it's cropped with a stepped hem. And this, I think, is the one that I'm gonna go with. Now, fabric suggestions for this is light to medium weight knit fabric with at least 10% crosswise stretch, such as jersey, interlock, ponte, sweater knits or stretch velvet. Now I know that I'm all right with this, because the good thing about the First for Fabrics website is that when you go onto it and you're having a look at knits, it does tell you about the stretch percentage as well of them all, so you don't have to work it out yourself, because I'm lazy like that. So anything that helps me out in that regard. So I had a quick look, and the cable knit is 30 to 35 inches widthways and 15 to 20% stretch lengthways. Bargain. So that's really, really good. So yeah, only needs 10% stretch. So if you did have something that was a bit of a tighter knit and didn't have as much stretch, you'd probably still get away with it because of the ease in it. Now, because this has got quite a bit of stretch, I know I've got a bit of flexibility on size, but I'm going to start having a quick look at that. From a supplies point of view, you don't really need anything other than really your fabric and your thread. Although you do have the option to put ribbing on with the t-shirt type versions. I think I'm going to go for this version. Again, what is wrong with me with this colour around my neck and makeup? I don't know, but you know, got to give it a go. And the other good thing about this pattern as well, when I went and had a look online, is that you can actually get an extension pack to this, and you can make the Nora cardigan. as well. Now I do know the Nora cardigan also came out as a free pattern on one of the Sewn magazine subscriptions as well, so I have seen that on some D-stashes recently. So what do we think? This in this fabric, danger, danger. I can't wait to get this sewn up. So I'm going to go ahead now, finish off drying this, and then I'm going to start cutting up this pattern. Yes, I'm going to cut it, not trace it. It's only from a D-stash. It only cost me a few quid. It's fine. And then I'm going to get on with it. And then hopefully you'll be able to see all of us soon in our choices. Now I'm going to pass over to my other Northern Soul sister. Take care.
Hi, Rachel here, and it's now my turn to chat to you about my pattern and fabric choice for this challenge. So I'm really excited because, yeah, I love cozies and I love this time of year. I think autumn is probably my favourite season of the year, if I'm honest. And along with that, obviously the cozies, the sweaters, the snuggling down with a hot chocolate in front of a fire on a cool, windy, blustery day is just bliss. Anyway, getting back to the challenge. So I have loved having a look at Tamlyn and Ruan's pattern and fabric choices. I am stunned that Ruan has gone for an ivory. I can't believe that. Can you? That is just bonkers, because she's always really colourful, and I think it's going to look great with her red hair though. It's going to be fantastic. So, and I love Tamlyn's choice too. It was really hard narrowing down the choice for myself because there are so many gorgeous colourways of this fabric, which I'm sure you'll agree. And believe you me, this fabric is so soft. So shall I show you mine? Are you interested to see? Can anybody guess the colour that I went for? Because if you know, I'm a little bit of a chameleon, aren't I? And probably not easy to guess. I'd really love you to tell me. I'd love to hear what you're all thinking now, whether it's going to be pink, black, green, blue. Anyway, this is what I went for. This one. Has this surprised you? Oh, it's so soft. It's just, I'm actually tempted just to leave it as a blanket and snuggle up in front of the TV with on a cold night. Anyway, here we go. So this is my choice of fabric. I have gone for the Nile colourway, which is like a sort of denim-y blue colour. It's super soft, super drapey, and yeah, this is just going to make the most gorgeous sweater for this time of year. And I did find it hard to choose, I will be honest, but I just thought this is a colour. Blues really suit me, as you know, and I wanted to choose something that I don't already have in my wardrobe. And I've got lots of pink sweaters, lots of blacks and, you know, colourful sweaters, as in print wise. And I thought it would be nice to go for something in a bit more muted, understated, I guess, maybe, if that's what you'd like to call it. So yeah, I've gone for this colourway. Guys, I'm sorry about my hair, by the way. You know, as you know, I am recovering from surgery, so I don't look great at the minute. I'm sorry. just warning you now, if you want to, if anybody's tempted to put on, Rachel, what's going on with your hair today? It's just not having it. So anyway, back to the fabric and the pattern. This is what I've got. I've got 2 meters of this. And before I talk to you about the pattern, I know some of you will be asking the question about bobbling. I'm not sure if the other girls have already mentioned this on, or if they have discussed the issue of bobbling. What I will say in my experience is that bobbling happens with any knit fabric, and that is regardless of quality. So whether you are using the cheapest polyester knits right up to the very expensive cashmeres, you are going to get bobbling, because wherever there is friction, in areas of friction, so you know the underarms where you're rubbing against your body as you walk in, that kind of thing, wherever those two friction places hit together, the knit fibres will bobble up. It is just going to happen. And some people think that poorer quality fabrics means it happens more, and it's not the case. I have a pure cashmere jumper that I got from Marks and Spencer's for Christmas a few years ago from Martin. He bought me it for, you know, as a real nice treat. It's beautiful and it's hand wash only, and I've got bobbling on that. It was very expensive. It's beautiful. It's the softest thing ever, but it's still bobbled under the arms. So it happens and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, I'm saying there's nothing you can do about it. There are things you can do to reduce the risk, such as making sure that you wash on a cooler setting. Any of your knit garments, if you're going to put them in the wash or hand wash them, I know that's a pain. And obviously not putting your handmade garments in the dryer as well. I know in the UK, particularly at the moment, we're all conscious of using dryers anyway because of the cost of our electricity, which is through the roof, but that's another story for another time. And yeah, don't put your knits in the dryer because that will encourage the bobbling. So getting back to the fabric, as I say, I have chosen this one and I am excited to use it. I have used a cable knit before and I do love it. It's very, very soft. It's got like a darker blue on the reverse side and I'm excited to work with this and make myself a really nice jumper. So the pattern that I've gone for to make my jumper is one that lots of you will already know because it's fairly popular in the community, and that is the Megan Nielsen Jarrah sweater. But I'm going to go for a different version to the one that appears to be the most popular. Now, I bought this pattern because I really loved the sort of tie detail around the waist, and that's the version that I see most often made up. But this actually comes in 4 different versions. You've got 2 different neck lines and 4 different hem styles, so it's quite versatile and means you can obviously mix and match and create your own unique jumper for you. I am actually going to go for view B of this pattern. I will put some images in so you can have a look. And view B has got a curved hem with a crew neck and it's got the split sleeves, and I've not seen this version made up. Well, I've not seen it made up with the split sleeves, but I actually really like that, and I think in this fabric it's going to look great. I don't generally go for curved hems with sweaters, and I know that they tend to really work for sort of curvy figures, pear shapes, hourglass figures, that kind of thing. Those of us that have got hips, let's say that. And yeah, I think the curve really accentuates that, but that's precisely the reason why I generally stay clear of it, because I'm not a big fan of accentuating my curvy hips. But I'm going to try it and see how it works for me. So this pattern comes in 2 size ranges. You've got the 0 to 20 size, and then you've got the curve size, which is the 14 to 30. This is an Australian brand, so those sizes align with the UK. So if you are from the US, just check the sizing and make sure you look at the body measurements before you immediately choose a size, thinking that you've chosen the size that is in American sizing, because it is different. You need about 1.5 meters of fabric for this version, and also 1/8 of a meter of ribbing. I don't have any ribbing that will work with this particular colourway, I don't think. I do have some ribbon in my stash, but I don't think I've got like a denim blue that's going to match perfectly. And I'm not a fan of contrasting ribbon. That's just my personal choice. I prefer my jumpers to sort of blend. I'm not really into colour blocking and things. So I am just going to use the actual fabric to create the ribbing. It's actually got a fair decent amount of stretch and recovery on this. So I think, that's going to be fine. The other thing, size range, just going back to the sizing, is talking to you about the size that I have chosen to make my Jarrah from. My body measurements currently, my bust is a 38.5, my waist is 32. It's coming down slowly. The swelling is starting to subside, but I have decided to go for the size 12. And before you all scream at me, the size 12 in this particular pattern equates to body measurements of a 38 bust, so I'm 1/2 inch bigger, and a waist of 30 inch, and I'm 2 inches bigger. However, the finished measurements for this sweater are 46 1/8 of an inch for the waist and the hip, because it's just a straight up and down. So I think that's going to be fine. Now, because this is a curved hem, my hips are 46 inches. It doesn't actually give you a finished measurement for the hip. It just gives you it for the bust and waist, which is a bit odd for this particular version. So I think what I'm going to do is, because my hips are 46, and I know it's got like it's curved. So the curved bit, well, where it finishes before the curved hem starts, I think will hit me on my high hip. That's what I'm aiming for. So I might just grade out just a little bit as it gets towards the hip line. We'll see how we go. Now, one of my big bugbears is that pattern designers don't always clarify what height they draft for, and I have a real issue with this. I've talked about it time and time again, because I need to know how much fabric I need for a particular project, and if they've not told me how the height they've drafted for that particular pattern, then I don't know how much fabric to get, because I might need more, I might need less, and fabric's expensive, isn't it? We don't want to be buying more fabric than we need for our projects these days. So I will say I couldn't find in the pattern instructions anywhere where it told me what height this pattern is drafted for. However, a quick Google of Megan Nielsen patterns told me that a fit model is 5'9" with a B to C cup bust. 5'9"! That's amazing, because you don't see that very often in designers. They're usually around about the average or petite height. So I'm really impressed that I managed to find that. If it is in the pattern instructions, I could have just missed it because I did just scan them, to be honest. But it was easily found on the good old Dr. Google. So that's great, because it means that I probably don't need to lengthen this at all. But I'm just going to check, looking at where the curved hem bit is supposed to hit you, if that makes sense, because I would like it, I'm sort of very particular where that length will hit me, if that makes sense. So we'll have a play about with it and see. Might add an inch on, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll just see how it goes. So that's my plan for this project. I'm excited to have a go at it. As I say, I did originally think about doing the one with the tied hem, but I decided not to. I decided to go against the grain and choose something different. So I'm looking forward to making this, because I don't actually have many longer length jumpers in my wardrobe anymore. So that's going to be nice to create something that I can probably wear with, you know, just the skinny jeans or the leggings, even for long walks amongst the autumn leaves. Right, that's it then from the three of us. Let us know down in the comments below what you think of our choices for both the fabric colourways and also the pattern choices as well. We're really keen to hear from you, and let us know if you're interested in sewing along with us and choosing a sweater pattern for yourself this autumn. I'm sure lots of us will be delving into our sweater pattern stashes to create something new and cozy for the coming months. So I will leave a link on screen now for you of the discount code that you will be able to get a cheeky little discount that the gorgeous ladies at First for Fabrics are offering off this fabric selection. And you can go and choose from their extensive colour range for yourself if you're interested in picking up some of this fabric for yourself. Right, take care of yourselves, and we will be back hopefully with our finished sweaters really soon. Bye.